Hi again, my name is Rebel and I'm the Rebel Reseller, and today I'm going to be doing my what sold video, which will be for last week, Monday through Thursday, February 19th through the 22nd. Y'all, my sales continue to be consistent. I've had a couple of days that they got a little bit lower than average, but for the most part I am thrilled that February was way better than I ever expected. So I'm very thankful. What else is happening? Y'all, wait till you see what I got to talk to at the end of the video, because I got a defect. And I'm going to show you what it was all about. First, couple of things. If you're liking these videos, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Send me a comment, even if it's just an emoji. We have a second channel. It's called The Rebel Pickers, where we're showing a lot of the picking videos. We went to 2 consignment sales and an estate sale today, so hopefully that video footage will be out probably not this week, but the following week. We hit over 1,000 subscribers already, so if you like picking type videos, go on over there, watch some of the videos. But always give us a thumbs up, give us a comment. It just kind of helps with the algorithm. Let's see, what else? Let's see, I only had sales on Poshmark, which were slim, and eBay. Y'all, eBay is just on fire for me right now. And I know it's because I'm listing a lot. I am going through all of my profit piles here and getting so much stuff listed. It's been funny because I'll list something and it sells immediately, and you're just like, why didn't I have this listed already? But it's helping with my numbers for, basically February is historically a really low sales month for me, and it's just been amazing. But it's for all the effort that I've put in to get rid of these profit piles, and I'm just going to keep doing it. I'm hoping to start seeing yard sales start up here very soon. The weather's been pretty decent. I mean, today it's raining, but we're having more warmer days than we are cold days. So I plan on seeing, some here probably in the next couple of weeks. We're also going to Peaches to the Beaches next week with the tea and pickers, so we're going to hopefully have lots of footage from that. Fingers crossed the weather's nice and lots of sales to, stop at. I don't like the tent cities. If you've ever been to these type sales, there's a lot of what I call tent cities where it's just dealers. And there are probably some deals to be made. Like I picked up a whole bunch of my vintage Fisher-Price Little People at one of the tent cities. But for the most part, it's better to go off the beaten paths and hit the yard sales that, might be a mile or 2 or 3 away from the main highway. So I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to the break. So I guess let's just get to it. 3 sales on Poshmark. This first one was for an LL Bean women's dress, sold for $25. This all-style apparel and activewear men's graphic shirt sold for $17. I'm thrilled with this. This is some Lil Bratz boys lot. These were given to me from a friend who was moving and just gave me a huge box full of a lot of vintage stuff and stuff like this. I just decided I had several different lots I made up. These were the 5-inch dolls and a bunch of accessories, and they sold on Poshmark for $70. And then eBay. If you're new to my channel, I don't do free shipping, so when I say something sells for $13, the buyer also paid shipping for the item. All right, this is I had this huge tote of Barbie stuff and another tote that was full of like princess stuff, Disney princess. I spent an entire weekend on and off sorting and making lots and everything. So a lot of this stuff that you see in the custom label up here at the top, 2401, 2402, a lot of this has been stuff from the profit pile, and they're just selling. These are Disney Cinderella mice figures. They both were bobbleheads, and they sold for $13. Bought this on when we were going either to or from Missouri in October. So it was Halloween time. We stopped at a Buc-ee's. Robert bought one of these vampire beavers to do retail arbitrage, and we lost it. It got put over there with all the other stuff that we were bringing back, and I finally found it. So we paid $15 for it, and I ended up taking a best offer of $23.05. So we barely tweaked a profit, but our fault because it didn't get listed, you know, when it was selling very well on eBay. But it's gone. Talbot's women's skirt, $17.71. Little Tykes replacement train. There's a video showing that it works, and it sold for $8.96. Profit pile stuff. Kids preferred black dog. Y'all, this is my new strategy with my really old stuff. I have a lot of stuff that in the custom SKU, it says 2212. That means it was listed before last year. Anything that was listed before last year is marked 2212. So now as I'm sending out my offers many times a day, I sort them by my custom SKU so it lots all of the month years together. I'm sending out 20 or 25% offers on anything that was listed before last year. The first 6 months of last year, I'm sending out 15% offers. The last of the year, 10% offers. And then just depending on what it is, I'm doing 5 to 10% offers on anything that I've listed in the last 2 months. So this was one of those items I sent a 20% offer on, and it sold for $6.44. But I'm making them gone. These are the old stuff, and they need to go. Shirem Lion hand puppet sold for $8.96. Just lots of little. Now this, I picked this up at the bins. Pretty sure, no tags, definitely vintage, mohair, wool, bear. Pants had some condition issues. Just kind of picked $50. I kind of compared it to other wool bears that are that size that were listed that were not, didn't have a brand on them. I got very quickly a $36 offer, which I just decided to go ahead and make it gone. This was from the bins, so I have very little in it. Just a reminder, when I say stuff is from the bins, especially the ones since we've been going to St. Louis for a couple of years now, I think the price there is $1.89 a pound. So I don't always say in here how much I paid for something because it's bin stuff and it's by the pound. So, you know, you can guesstimate if it was half a pound, then I paid about 90 cents for it. A lot of this stuff was way less than even a half a pound. All right, Circo Cream Bear Plush with the corduroy nose. There were lots of these in different colors. I kind of just priced mine at the high end and took 2 months, but I went ahead and accepted an offer of $25 for a plush. Avon White Mouse Ornaments. I want to say I picked these up at that estate sale where the lady's mom had been an Avon rep. And she had a closet full of Avon stuff. And she took me into their home and just pulled everything out of the closet. And I just made a big old pile of stuff. I can't remember how much I paid that day, but it wasn't a whole lot. And I sold these 3 ornaments for $11. Disney Store Lady and the Tramp Dog Plush sold for $11.66. Hug and Love Green Llama Alpaca Plush sold for $11.66. Not a brand I normally pick up, but it's a plush with rabbit ears, and I tend to do well with them. This, I don't know which one of us picked it up, but it had some serious condition issues. I decided to go ahead and list it. If you look at the picture, it's kind of a little bit blurry, but there's like a stain on the front. It's like the wrap was damaged and then like coffee got down in under the wrap. But I just decided to go ahead and list it. It took like 6 months and it sold for $8.06. It is a Star Trek plastic cup. This was in the profit pile stuff. We must have picked it up at the bins. This was a vintage Hoover vacuum cleaner belt and listed and sold the same day, $4.46. But I'm telling myself, unless there's something just significantly wrong with it, or it's only worth a couple of bucks, $1 or $2, and there's nothing else I can lot it with, I'm listing it. I've spent the money. Let me see what I can get back. So $4.46, and this thing was super light, so maybe a quarter. Schleich White Horse figure from 2016. Old listing, sold for $12.12. Now this is from my high bid estate sale that we won probably 3 years ago now at this point. These were Bush's Baked Beans Dog Plush from 1999, and I sold the two of them. One was in its bag, the other one was not. $19.76. Mattel Mattel Lil Miss Magic Hair Doll, 1988, sold for $11.66. I picked up, I want to say, 4 of these drawers at a churchyard sale for 50 cents each. They took forever to sell. These were the little Tykes drawers that went into a workbench, and I finally sold the last 2 for a total of $12.56. This is Rosie from the Thomas the Train Engine series. These are the wooden ones. She's from 2012, and she sold very quickly for $8.50. Love the smalls. Y'all, this one was a surprise. I had a McDonald's Johnny from the movie Sing, and I had a figure that was like a cake topper, and both of them sold as soon as I listed them. This is the McDonald's one, and it sold for $10. I think the other one sold a little bit later. But yeah, McDonald's toys, sometimes they are definitely worth picking them up. That is one of that, you know, I'll continue to check comps if I find it at the bins, but it seems to have a really good sell-through rate. So these are flypaper jeans, men's pants. They sold for $16. This was from that Barbie tote of stuff that I sorted. This is a replacement pull for a Dreamhouse from 2015. Sold for $10.76. Very quickly. Disney Finding Nemo plush. For the most part, y'all, they take a while to sell. I'll probably back off picking them up just because, you know, they do take so long to sell. This one sold for $8.96. I love that movie though. All right, this again is another old listing, so I'm pretty sure I must have sent out a 20% off offer. This dog did not have a manufacturer on the tag, so that makes it a little bit harder to sell because you just have to basically use as many keywords as you can, but you can only describe stuff so much. This was an 18-inch dog, and he sold for $18.68. Builda Bear. This was a green bear with a Lucky t-shirt. Picked up at the bins, I want to say in October. And I'm being a whole lot more particular with the Builda Bears, especially the bears. But this one had a t-shirt on, and it sold in like 2 months for $15.25. Now, story to go with this one. This is a Walmart My First Easter Rabbit plush. Listed it just this month. It came from the bins. Started getting messages from the buyer saying it shows delivered. It shows delivered, but I don't have it. I did the typical messages back and forth to her because she had opened up a case, And, you know, check with your neighbors, check with your post office, because packages have GPS at this point. And I've tested it. I've gone to the post office and said, can you tell me exactly where this item was delivered to? And they're able to do that for me. You know, I told her, you know, contact eBay and see if there's anything they can do for you. I guess eBay told her to, she had to wait till today, the 1st. And I noticed earlier today, you get all those messages. A case has been opened. Your funds are on hold. A case has been closed. And eBay closed it and did not refund her. So, yeah, I didn't expect a refund to come from me. But once in a while, eBay will give somebody a refund out of their pocket. But it doesn't look like they did this for her also. So, you know, I've got 3 of them right now. 3 cases open for... It says delivered, but it's not. They're saying it wasn't delivered. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't have this listed before Christmas. This is vintage Mr. Christmas. These were lights that twinkled, but they played melodies also. The lights twinkled in sync with the music. So the problem with them is when I bought them, they were in their original packaging, but they had sat in a hot basement or a hot garage, and they were in styrofoam. And then the styrofoam kind of sort of melted a little bit, and I had to use cotton and like a wash rag and just try to get some of the more prominent places where the styrofoam had stuck. But I just ended up saying that they were stored in foam packaging, which melted. I cleaned them as best as I could, but there might be some residual stuff. They sold almost immediately for $34. Just be honest in your descriptions. All right. This also was from the High Bid Estate sale, so it took a while, y'all. It took a while to sell. I sold a whole lot in the beginning, and then this is just all of the stuff that, you know, I keep marking them down, sending offers, and you just got to wait for that correct buyer. This is Smacks Dig'em Breakfast Plush, and it sold for $8.96. Cute story to go with this. Didn't sell for a whole lot, $6.44, but the dad sent me a message saying he was so thrilled to find this because I think he said his daughter was 8 years old and had given her purse like this to a friend, and he said I could tell from her face that she regretted it. She'd done it. It was a nice thing to do, but she was sad. Not that she regretted. She was sad that she didn't have her little purse anymore, so he had bought this for her. I just thought it was so sweet. $6.44. This is why I like picking up some of the stuff. I'm not gonna get rich. I'm not going to make tons of money on some of this plush, but I get stories like that. I sell for nostalgia reasons a lot of times. This is a viewer sale, so thanks again, Sherry. Sherry bought this pink Parade Gorilla plush for $22.45. Boogenhead. I found a couple of these loveys. This is the elephant from 2017, $8.96. I say that a lot. Most loveys are going to be bread and butter. Of course, there are exceptions, but a lot of the ones that you're going to find out there are. You just got to familiarize yourself with some of the ones that do better. And I put out a video maybe last year on just all the different loveys that you should be keeping an eye out for. But believe me, that is not exclusive. Just always check the comps. Disney Buddies Dog Plush 6-inch tall, $10.49. Easter is selling very well for me. Rabbits plush and then stuff like this. I pick these up all year long. A lot of times I can get these at estate sales for, you know, $2 or $3. At the bins, I probably wouldn't because they're heavier and you're just paying for all that heavy packaging. But a lot of times I can get them at yard sales and estate sales pretty cheaply. This is just an Easter Bunny Village that lit up, and they sold for $44.95. I have been finding quite a few of these in like dogs, this elephant, I can't remember what the other ones, and they sell very quickly for me. This was a Chickp gray elephant, and it sold in 1 month for $8.06. Again, it's probably 3 or 4 ounces based on the shipping charge that I have on there. How to Train Your Dragon Night Fury plush sold for $11.05. American Greetings Strawberry Shortcake doll. I love picking these up, but with a few exceptions, most of them are bread and butter, unless you can like sell them in lots. This one was from 1979, sold for $8.05. I've mentioned this before. I think when I recently picked up a different one, and I said it there. I do really, really well with vintage baby bibs. These were from Play School. I had found a bunch of them at a thrift store, listed a few of them, and then the bag got set aside. Found it in my death piles. I listed, I think, 4, maybe 6 more of them. Lots of 2. This one sold immediately. These were from Play School. I listed them for $50 and they sold same day. Full asking price, $50. So definitely keep your eyes open for the vintage bibs that have the little pocket in the front. Jimmy Peter Cottontail plush sold for $17.40. I think I found the little girl later, but because I had them listed for, you know, more than bread and butter, I just decided to separate them. 32 Degrees Cool women's shirt. Again, very old listing. Listed it the first year that we started selling clothes, so 2 or 3 years ago. Finally sold $9.61. This is one of the loveys to be looking for. This is larger. It's 27 inches, but it is Dakin. This one says My Night Night Bunny. It sold for $44.95. Anytime I find this plush, I list it separately. I had found it with several other Popeye plush, and his name is Eugene Chickp, and he always sells very quickly for me without the others with him. This one sold in less than a month for $26.95, and he was from the bins. More Bratz clothes, same lot that I showed you earlier that sold on Posh. These were from the Lil Bratz series, and this one sold for $28.30. Macy's Snoopy Dog plush, large, sold for $16.16. Old listing. This is an example of something that's been listed a really long time, but I think because I finally lowered my price so that my shipping is very reasonable, my buyers pay exactly what eBay charges me, and a lot of this old stuff is just moving for me. This was Play School Green Dinosaur Toy from 1993, sold for $11.66. Vintage Tupperware. Picked this up at an estate sale, I think, with some other stuff. So I'm not quite sure how much we paid for all of it. I'd say we have $1 or $2 in it, and it sold for $17.95. Halloween decoration. This is like one of those felt wall hangings. It was 15 inches. I took a best offer of $10 for it. Y'all, I like finding stuff like this. They're very popular. But when I ship them, I just take a box that hasn't been opened and slide them in. The thing you need to remember is you need to make it a little bit thick so that it's considered a package. So I'll put a little bubble wrap on top, a little bubble wrap on bottom, keep the box kind of thick, and I ship it very easy. So $10. I'm doing my inventory right now. I've talked about it quite a bit. I'm actually almost done with the right side of the building, the one that I showed where most of my stuff is stored. And I knew when I got to this item, which I'm almost there, I was going to pull this and just make a lot. Because I think I thought about it and I was going to end it it sold. $12. It's been listed, no lie. I think when I ended my last job, right after Robert and I got married and we decided to do this full time. So it's probably been 10 years, y'all. Today's my anniversary. I didn't forget. Last year I forgot. Didn't forget this year. You want to know why? Robert put it on a calendar and it's on the front of my phone. Everything that's going on in our lives is on the front of my phone. So I didn't forget. So yeah, today is Robert and my 12th anniversary. Let me think. Yes, 12th anniversary. So it's been an amazing 12 years. But this sold for, thinking of $12. All right, chimpanzee Christmas ornaments from Midwest of Cannon Falls. I think I bought a bunch, probably a quarter each. And these two took a while, but they sold for $9. Lee women's jeans, $10. Y'all, we can find tons of these around here. Pay $1 or fill a bag, and I'm happy making $10 for a pair of jeans. ScoobyDoo Scrappy Dog plush. This was from our last trip to the Goodwill bins. $8.06. Easter Walmart Easter soft bunny rabbit, $13.45. Now some of my sales that did really, really well. These I'm sure we picked up at an estate sale. They had some condition issues, but these are GM Delco Moraine coffee cups, some kind of anniversary edition. I had 2 of them. I think I had seen comps for like 25 for one, so I thought, well, I'm always going to list higher, and I got a $50 offer for them. So I was very happy. They sold in 2 months, $50 for 2 coffee mugs. Profit pile, y'all. These were just in a tote. I've been taking whole totes and doing something with them. And these 2, come to find out, I think came in this same set because their numbers are very similar. So I decided just to keep them together. The dog one is the one that's more sought after. So I just kept the 2 together. Sold the same day I listed for full asking price. Littlest Pet Shop Cocker Spaniel and Licking Cat, $59.95 in the profit pile. All right, and then this was my, well, wasn't my best sell, but it's the best sell that stuck. How about that? Because we're going to talk about my next one here in a second. My defect. These are Sanrio Jimmy Boy and Patty Girl plush doll from 2010. Couldn't find a whole lot of information on them. I stuck a big price on them, and it took a while. They were listed before last year, and then all of a sudden they sell for full price, $74.95. They're itty bitty, 5 inches. All right, and then here's my problem child. All right, Robert found these Nike Air Jordan sneakers at a yard sale. Y'all, I checked everything that I possibly could check. I probably should have done that one thing that everybody talks about, check or something like that. But I didn't. They sold for $275. Sent them off to be authenticated through eBay, and they failed. They're on their way back to me. I wished eBay would tell us why they fell. You know, tell me exactly what happened, because I've seen posts where people say, you know, there was damage to a box that wasn't recorded, or there was, you know, it's supposed to have shoelaces and it doesn't. Just anything, but they don't. And to make matters worse, they give you a defect for item not described. So I've told Robert, probably not something I want to continue to do with these high-end sneakers. It's just not worth it, because, you know, I thought I did all my due diligence on checking it for authentic. There were others that were listed. I checked tags. I checked everything. I compared them to other solds, other listed, and they seemed legit to me. Maybe they are. Maybe they aren't. But I don't want to do that anymore. No more. High stress. High stress. So, and I got a defect out of it. All right. Still excellent sales. Fingers crossed. March. And just keep going on up. And then yard sale season starting. And I hope to find all kinds of treasures and just have the most amazing year. Right? That's the goal. Have the most amazing year. All right, y'all. Now it's time to get to work. Bye.